Good evening. Welcome back to my late night spook show, Chiller Theater Shockathon, Scarorama, and Screamo-Vision here on the Horror and Metal channel. I'm Lord Hellhound, and this is going to be Loathsome Lore 52. And yeah, we're going to take a look at some of my recent acquirements, things that I purchased in the last few months and stuff. But before I begin, I just want to make a couple announcements. Number one is that my wife and I have been watching the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah, very, very nostalgic for me. I always said that like the original Ninja Turtles show from the 80s is like the max amount of silliness that I can tolerate. But I think Power Rangers is even sillier. But just on nostalgia. I'm not interested in any of the shows after that. The original is the only one that I watched back then. So, yeah, again, very nostalgic. I was tempted to get it on DVD. I was like, no, I don't think I need to because I can watch it on Netflix or Tubi anytime. The entire series, the first three seasons. Anyway, yeah, such a fun show. And also, I was in a movie recently. I was actually filmed almost 2 years ago, but it just released recently. It's called Miss Valentine. It's not a horror movie. It's a romantic comedy, which, it's probably like my least favorite genre of movie, but it's pretty cool that I get to be in it. I was an extra, it's not like I had any lines or anything, but I did do a little bit of acting. Yeah, I was in like maybe three scenes. It did like a close up of my face at least 9 or 10 times. So yeah, pretty cool. Got to be in a movie. It took forever to film it. Yeah, Miss Valentine, directed by Blaine Weaver, is starring Paris Barelk, Burles. I don't know how to pronounce it, but yeah, you can watch it on Zumo Play. Yeah, Miss Valentine, with me in it. All right, anyway, let's go and get started. All right, so yeah, Loathsome Lore 52. Gonna look at some recent acquirements, mostly comic book related. After all, this is the horror, metal, and sometimes comics channel, comic book superhero related stuff. But let's start with Blu-rays. All right, so finally I got the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tobe Hooper's 1974 masterpiece on Blu-ray. I guess the reason that I didn't get it before is I was kind of holding out for like some kind of Scream Factory or Arrow Video special edition, but I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy it. I found it at Walmart for $10. Like, this is one of my favorite movies. I need to buy it. The only Texas Chainsaw Massacre movie I had on Blu-ray was Part 2. Yeah, the Part 1 and 2 are kind of the only ones I really care about. They're the only ones I really, really love, like for different reasons. But yeah, this is a classic, one of the best horror movies ever made. It's a masterpiece, one of my favorites ever. I was like, I need to get upgraded to Blu-ray. So yeah, it's got a few special features, some new stuff that wasn't on my DVD, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's new commentaries, some other extra stuff that I didn't already have on another release. So yeah, the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, amazing film. But I've already talked about that on the channel ad nauseum, so let's go ahead and move on. The only other horror movie I got on Blu-ray is this Dracula Has Risen from the Grave, one of my favorite Hammer movies, of course, featuring the great Christopher Lee as Count Dracula. I think another reason why I didn't already get this, because I was also holding out for some kind of Scream Factory or Arrow Video release. This is a very bare bones Blu-ray. But I bought it from the comic book store that I used to work at for my buddy and former boss. It was only like $6. I was like, why not? I'll have it, upgrade to Blu-ray, even though, again, there's no special features or anything. It's just like my DVD. So, I was holding out for some kind of special edition. I was hoping Scream Factory would do one, but they didn't, so whatever. Also, the local record store has Taste the Blood of Dracula, but it's like almost $30. So I was like, I'm good. Because it's not a special edition or anything. There's no special features. It's not by Scream Factory. It's just like this one, bare bones. But yeah, still a great movie. Yeah, gotta love Hammer horror, and yeah, gonna add this to my collection. Even though I already had it on DVD, like I said. And it's, there's no other extra features that DVD doesn't have. Also, Superman. Yeah, I already talked about this. I gave it its own video, and I forgot to mention a few things, so I left them in the description. So if you're interested in what I think about this film, go watch that video and definitely read the description because I added a few more things. Yeah, I really like this movie. It's more akin to the Superman that I'm used to, the Christopher Reeve portrayal. It's more lighthearted, so it's a little comedic. It's not as dark or gritty or overly serious as the Snyderverse. So I still like those. I didn't like Man of Steel when I first saw it, but it really grew on me over the years. I appreciate it as kind of an alternate take, like kind of a realistic look at what if Kryptonian. What if an alien who had all these powers really existed, did come to Earth? It'd probably be kind of like that, But yeah, still a really good movie. Yeah, I thought David Cornsweet did a great job as Kal-El, Clark Kent, Superman. Yeah, I love Crypto, the superpowered dog. He was cool. He stole every scene he was in. Rachel Brosnahan was a good Lois. Nicholas Hoult was a good Luthor. But yeah, for my full thoughts, check out the video I made about it. Yeah, Superman, the first entry in the new DCU, which is being led by James Gunn, who also directed this. So yeah, really excited to see what future installments are like. Yeah, new DC cinematic universe. And also the newest entry in the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Fantastic Four First Steps. Yeah, this cover is kind of boring. I like the 4K cover better. It's got Mr. Fantastic stretching and Human Torch flaming on and stuff. This is kind of boring. They're just kind of standing around in true MCU fashion. Kind of reminds me of the Spider-Man Homecoming cover where he's just like laying around eating pizza and has his headphones on. Yeah, he's not swinging on his web or anything. Yeah, the MCU likes to do that for some reason. They think it's funny or something. I don't know. The 4K cover is way better, but I still don't have a 4K player yet. I really want to get a PS5 soon, especially when Grand Theft Auto 6 comes out. But for now, I'm just sticking with Blu-ray. Yeah, I really like this movie too. It's really good. It's definitely the best live-action Fantastic Four movie so far. I also gave this its own video, so for my full thoughts, check that out. And check the description of that video, because I mentioned some things that I forgot to add in the video. So, yeah, for my full thoughts, check out that video. But yeah, love the Fantastic Four. I've been really reading a lot of Fantastic Four comics lately, too. So, yeah, but this is a really enjoyable flick. I really like it. I had a few issues with it, but overall, I thought it was really, really good. But it's definitely a solid entry in the MCU. Yeah. Oh, yeah, gotta love it. Yeah. All right, and finally, the last Blu-ray I got is Jurassic World Rebirth. I talked about this a little bit in one of my videos. I didn't give it its own individual review, but I did talk about it in one of my recent videos. I liked it. It was pretty good. It's kind of just more of the same. People in the jungle running from dinosaurs. I kind of wish they'd have, like, other, like, creatures from the Cretaceous, Mesozoic, or yeah, the prehistoric period, you know, like maybe Smilodons, you know, saber-toothed tigers, mastodons, you know, woolly mammoths. That'd be cool. But it's just, you know, the reptilian type yet again. This is the first entry not to have any returning cast members from a previous film, but I like the new cast. Scarlett Johansson's always good. I always like her. Yeah, pretty good movie. Again, just kind of more of the same. Didn't really break any new ground or anything. Didn't do anything revolutionary or too interesting. I think I did like, I'm probably a minority here, but I think I did like Dominion a little better, only because it's so great seeing all the original cast members from the first movie reunite yet again. You have the legacy characters interacting with the new characters. That was really, really awesome. So I really, really like that. So, but yeah, it's a solid entry. I like the Jurassic Park movies. You know, I always know that I'm in for just some mindless popcorn fun, and this one delivered on that front. So yeah, pretty good though. Like I said, nothing mind-blowing. It's not going to change your life or anything. All right, so that's it for movies. Now I've got a lot of comics to look at. I'll try to get through them a little quickly, but you know me. I like to talk about them too. You know. But anyway, let's go and look. Let's start with DC. All right, so yeah, I got Action Comics issue 308. You know, of course, with Superman featuring Red Kryptonite, and looks like the DC version of Hercules. From Greek and Roman mythology. Hercules is also a well-known Marvel character, like he's a member of the Champions team with Iceman, Angel, Black Widow, and Ghost Rider. But DC also has their version of Hercules, and he's in this issue. Yeah, like I said, Red Kryptonite. Yeah, Superman. Action Comics 308. Yep, pretty cool. Then speaking of Superman, I also got Adventures of Superman. 427. Yeah, the Adventures of Superman series took over the numbering for the original Superman Volume 1 comics. So this is basically I think it's like the fourth issue. I think 424 is where Adventures of Superman started. So yeah, I think it's like the fourth issue. Yeah, Adventures of Superman 427. Yeah, good old Man of Steel lifting a tank. Pretty cool. All right. Now let's get on to Batman. Yeah, here's Detective Comics, issue 357 with Batman, Robin, and Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson somehow. Yeah, how does that work? I don't know. Got to read to find out. Yeah, a puzzle and double identities. Bruce Wayne unmasks Batman. Really? Yeah. I kind of doubt it. But yeah, Detective Comics. Yeah. Really bad. I think this is from the 60s, if I'm not mistaken, but don't quote me on that. Then we got Batman issue 397. With Two-Face, yeah. Probably my second favorite Batman villain next to, of course, the Joker. Yeah, good old Two-Face. Harvey Dent. Then we got, I've been waiting to get these for a while. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, issue 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, the whole shaman storyline. Yeah, written by the great Denny O'Neil, one of my favorite comic book writers. We also got Legends of the Dark Knight. Batman Legends of the Dark Knight, issue 12. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. This bridged the gap, because I had a bunch of ones before and after this one. So, yeah, this filled in the gap for that. All right, then we have Batman Shadow of the Bat, issue 32, with, looks like the ventriloquist and Scarface. And then issue 33 with Robin and looks like Two-Face. Yeah, so, yeah, Two-Face. Yep, pretty cool. Shadow of the Bat. Batman's, of course, my favorite superhero, obviously. Also, Adventure Comics, issue 448 with Aquaman. This is another one that bridged the gap. I have a bunch of issues leading up to it, a bunch of issues after, so I was missing this one. This one fills in the gap. Sorry if this is boring, just looking at different comics. I know this isn't really that interesting, and most of my viewers probably are in it for the horror stuff, and like that's already... Yeah, I already talked about that. Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Dracula's Risen from the Grave. The only horror-related items I've got lately. So, yeah, there's a bunch of comics. So, if this isn't your thing, feel free to skip the video. I understand. Also got Incredible Hulk 314. Yeah, pretty cool. So, we got, looks like I got the Abomination, MODOK, the Leader, the Rhino, and Juggernaut. Hell yeah. Quite an interesting team of supervillains there. Hell yeah. Incredible Hulk 314. I've been reading a lot of Hulk comics lately, too. I've been really into Marvel lately. You know, I was on a big, huge DC kick like a few months ago. Now I'm really into Marvel. Here's another Hulk, issue 393, the 30th anniversary special issue, which is an homage to the original Incredible Hulk issue 1 cover. It looks just like that, you know. Is he man or monster, you know? Yeah, it looks just like that. Just like my calendar over there. Yep. Incredible Hulk 393. Good stuff. Then we have Journey into Mystery with the Mighty Thor. Yeah, Thor started out in Journey into Mystery. 83, I believe, was the issue he started in. Yeah, this is 114, and it's the first appearance of the Absorbing Man. He'd become one of Thor's main adversaries, and would also become a recurring Hulk villain as well. Pretty cool. And I also fought the Avengers sometimes. And I think he kind of bordered an anti-hero a little bit later in his career. But yeah, first appearance of Absorbing Man. Journey into Mystery, 114. Sorry, getting tongue-tied already. Yep, good old Thor, Mighty Thor. Also, the Mighty Thor issue 316 with Iron Man. Pretty cool. Yeah, somebody wrote on it, though, unfortunately. Whatever. Yeah, good old Thor, teamed with Iron Man. 2 of the Avengers. Here's Thor 376, again with Absorbing Man. Oh, yeah. Is that Thunderstrike? I don't know. It might be. Yeah. Thor 376. Here's Tales of Suspense, issue 97, featuring Iron Man and Captain America. Iron Man, of course, started in Tales of Suspense 39, I want to say. I think. Yeah, Iron Man and Captain America. And this is the first appearance of the Iron Man villain Whiplash. Yeah. A version of him appeared in the movie Iron Man 2. As part of the MCU, played by Mickey Rourke, though they changed it a lot. He was a lot different, but yeah, this is the first appearance of Whiplash. Yeah. Tales of Suspense 97. Iron Man, Captain America. First appearance of Whiplash, yep. All right, here's some Fantastic Four stuff. These are reprints. Yeah, Fantastic Four issue 50. Or, sorry, 49, 48, 49, and 50. These are reprints, but this is the Galactus trilogy. The first appearances of Galactus and the Silver Surfer, Norrin Radd, the Norrin Radd Silver Surfer. Yeah, 48, 49, and 50. Yeah, the Galactus trilogy. But yeah, these are all reprints. Someday I'll get the actual original prints, which would be great. Yeah, these are reprints. I just really wanted to read it, so yeah, even though I already have them in another... Ended up getting them in another form, too, which we'll get to in a little bit. Now, these aren't reprints. No more reprints in this video. That's it. Fantastic Four 229. Yeah, The Seeker of Darkness. Yeah, I think this was when never mind. Yeah. Fantastic Four 229. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Fantastic Four lately, too. Here's Fantastic Four 239. Looks like featuring Frankie Ray, a.k.a. Nova. Yep. Yep, 239. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of Fantastic Four. I think the movie maybe whetted my appetite. Yeah, here's 243. It's the UK edition. Very iconic cover. I absolutely love that. It's freaking Galactus. And he's fighting, the Fantastic Four and also Doctor Strange, the Wasp, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Yeah, really, really, really cool. There's also an action figure of this where, Galactus, he's huge. And he's fighting all them. They're all miniature. I really want to get a Galactus action figure. He's like the only main Marvel villain that I don't have. Really hard to find. I thought there'd be a lot of them now that the Fantastic Four First Steps movie just came out. And, of course, Galactus was the main villain of that. So I thought it'd be easy to find a figure of him, but I still haven't yet. I really need to get one. Because, like I said, he's one of the only main Marvel villains I don't have. But yeah, Fantastic Four 243. Very iconic cover. Yeah, Fantastic Four and the Avengers. And Doctor Strange. Really, really awesome. Here's Fantastic Four 349. She got a lot of cool characters here. Yeah. In addition to the Fantastic Four, she got Spider-Man, the Ghost Rider, some Skrulls, Wolverine, Mole Man, the Hulk, the Gray Hulk, that is, and even a cameo by the Punisher. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. Fantastic Four 349. Pretty cool. Sorry, I know this is really boring. Just, comics aren't your thing. Like I said, feel free to skip this video because it's pretty much all there is. Comics and some graphic novel trade paperback collected editions. Here's more Fantastic Four 388. Under assault by the Avengers. Yeah. Looks like in addition to the Fantastic Four, we got Thor, Iron Man, Giant Man, and Ant-Man. Oh, this also has some Spider-Man trading cards that came with it, I think. Let's see here. Go ahead and open it. There's an advertisement for Beavis and Butthead. Yeah. Some Spider-Man trading cards. Marvel Master Prints. I already have a bunch of Marvel trading cards, which I showed in one of my Loathsome lore videos. I don't remember which one. Let's see. We got the Spider-Man, the Lizard. Yeah. Spider-Man trading cards. It's pretty cool. Those were good days, back when... I remember that back in the 90s when, comic books would frequently come with trading cards and other cool stuff. Yeah. Very fun time. Very groovy. Yeah. Fantastic Four 388 with some Spidey trading cards. Here's Fantastic Four Annual 19. Guest starring the Avengers. Looks like we got She-Hulk, Captain America, the Marvel Hercules, the Skrulls, and a few others. Yeah, pretty cool. I think this is when She-Hulk was part of the Fantastic Four, replacing the Thing, who left for a while. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, this is from 1985. That was a great year. Yeah, Fantastic Four Annual 19, pretty cool. When She-Hulk was part of the team. All right, here we got the Thing issue 1. Yeah, I've got a bunch of Thing comics. Like I said, the Thing and the Human Torch are my two favorite members of the Fantastic Four. So I had a bunch of Thing comics. Pretty cool to get the first issue. Now, I believe this was written but not drawn by John Byrne, who he's one of my favorite writer slash artists. He, of course, wrote and did the artwork for my favorite Superman run starting in 1986. Yeah, the John Byrne run of Superman is probably my favorite take on the Man of Steel. But yeah, he also did great with the Thing solo series. This is the first issue. Yeah, really great read. Also got the Avengers issue 200. Yeah, double-sized anniversary issue. Yeah, also you got quite a cast there. You got Captain America, the Vision, the Wasp, Hawkeye, the Beast, Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, Thor. Oh yeah, lots of cool characters and a few others. Hell yeah. Avengers 200. You got Silver Surfer Volume 1, issue 15, with the Human Torch. I should also mention I got a few other comics coming in the mail. I got Silver Surfer Volume 1, Issue 12 with the Hulk villain, the Abomination. Yeah, that's coming in the mail. Speaking of the Abomination, I also have Tales to Astonish, Issue 91 with the Abomination, which is his second appearance and his first cover appearance. I own Tales to Astonish 90, which was the first appearance of the Abomination. Emma Blonsky, who, of course, becomes a giant monster like the Hulk. But yeah, this is Silver Surfer Volume 1, Issue 15, Human Torch. And I also have the Defenders, Issue 3. I've been really getting into the Defenders lately, because of course they have the Hulk and Silver Surfer, are two of my favorite Marvel characters, and Submariner and Doctor Strange. And also got, there's one more, Fantastic Four 31, which is the first appearance of Franklin Storm, the father of Susan Storm, aka Invisible Woman, and Johnny Storm, aka Human Torch. Yeah, those four are coming in the mail. I was going to wait to get them, but I figured I'd just make the video now. I know a lot of you probably getting bored by this anyway. Now here's Silver Surfer Volume 2, Issue 1. It's a one-shot. This is the only issue in that series. Yeah, they did, I think it was like 18 issues in Volume 1. Then Volume 2 only had this one. Then Volume 3 has like several. It goes up to like the 70s or 80s or something. Maybe even more than that, actually. Yeah, it's a one-shot. Volume 2, Issue 1. The only issue from Volume 1. Now here's some more Silver Surfer. I showed some other Silver Surfer comics on my last Loathsome Lore. Here's Volume 3, Issue 4. Volume 3, Issue 5. Silver Surfer. I've been reading a lot of Silver Surfers too. Volume 3, Issue 18 with Galactus. Yeah, one of my favorite villains. Like I said, I need to get an action figure of him. Yeah, pretty cool. Silver Surfer Volume 3, Issue 20. Yeah, Super Skrull and Nenora, Reptile, Nova, Firelord. Hell yeah. Yep, Issue 20. My local comic store has a lot of these. Not the one I worked at, but a different one. Issue 58 with the Defenders. So I was just talking about, yeah, the Hulk, Submariner, Doctor Strange. And of course the Silver Surfer, yeah. Silver Surfer 58. Now the Defenders. Yeah, I've been really getting into Defenders lately. Here's 67 with Galactus and Doctor Strange. Yeah, pretty cool. Sorry, this is boring. I'm trying to get through this quickly. Silver Surfer Volume 3, Issue 75. Really cool holographic, shiny cover. Yeah, bunch of co-stars in the back. There's Galactus. And I'll be here all day if I name them all. Yeah, 75. Pretty cool. And speaking of Defenders, also got the first issue of Secret Defenders. I have a bunch of these from the 90s, Secret Defenders, but I now have issue 1. Yeah, it's cool because it was Doctor Strange, and he pretty much put together any team he could find. This one, of course, has Wolverine and Spider-Woman and some others. Yeah, pretty cool. Secret Defenders issue 1, very first issue. That's awesome. And that's it for comics. Now here's graphic novels and trade paperback Omnibus collections. Here's Justice by Alex Ross, who did the artwork. Yeah, it collects Justice issues 1 through 12. It's a really, really great read. I read the whole thing already. It's awesome. Really, really great storyline. I just wanted kind of a simple, straightforward storyline of all the superheroes teamed up against the super villains, and that's exactly what they gave me. I don't want to see the superheroes turning evil or anything stupid like that. Though it does ask a lot of questions that don't really get answered, but it's a really good action. It's a really awesome story. I spend more time on it, but this video is already getting way too long. But yeah, Alex Ross has got to be like the best artist out there. I mean, his artwork just look like paintings. Well, technically they are paintings. Yeah, it's just amazing. It looks like a photograph. Look at that. Yeah, Alex Ross's artwork is just phenomenal. He's an amazing, amazing artist. And like I said, it's a great read. Yeah, it's yeah, it was written by Jim Kruger and Alex Ross even, I think, came up with some of the storyline as well. Yeah, amazing artwork. Yeah, features the Justice League against basically the Legion of Doom. I think it's kind of based on the Challenge of the Super Friends edition. Yeah, a lot of cool stuff happens. There's a lot of homages and references to some of the Golden Age comic books, the Golden Age DC comics, and it kind of has that feel a little bit too, but with a modern twist. Yeah, it's really, really epic, really adventurous, really action-packed, really awesome. Like I said, the artwork by Alex Ross is just freaking incredible. Just magnificent. I mean, his art is just amazing. I mean, he's got to be the best. He's just got to be. I mean, just look at that. It's just amazing. Yeah, great read. Highly recommend it. If you're a DC fan, definitely check out Justice by Alex Ross. It's awesome. Also got this Invincible Iron Man Demon in a Bottle collected edition. Yeah, it collects Iron Man 120 through 128. I've read these stories before, but now I have them in this collected edition. I don't have a whole lot of Iron Man graphic novels or trade paperbacks, so it's good to get this one. Yeah, really good read. Yeah, it's when Tony Stark deals with his alcoholism and you know, his addiction, and you know, it's a very realistic, very serious, kind of adult story too. Yeah, it features cameos from some other heroes. make appearances. Yeah, really, really cool. Yeah, Iron Man's awesome, and this is a great read. This is one of his most famous storylines. So yeah, highly just you read it. Great story arc featuring Tony Stark. Fantastic Four, Marvel Masterworks issue 3, which collects Fantastic Four 21 through 30. I already had volumes 1 and 2. Yeah, right through all these. It's great. It features another fight between the Hulk and the Thing. By the second time they encounter each other, I believe. Yeah, lots of great stuff. They also encountered the X-Men, which that was a fantastic read. Yeah, really good stuff. All of the Marvel Masterworks collected editions, they're some of the best. The Epic collections are probably a little better because they contain more. They contain like 20 issues, and they also have appearances of those characters in other comics as well, not just these. So yeah, pretty cool. Yeah, Fantastic Four, Marvel Masterworks 1, 3. Here's Fantastic Four versus Galactus. This contains the Galactus trilogy I already talked about. Yeah, Fantastic Four 48 through 50, and also 242 through 244, which I showed my issue 243 with the Galactus cover fighting all the heroes. Yeah, this has all those. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, to see where that all started with Galactus and the Silver Surfer. Yeah, their first appearances and teaming with some other heroes. Yeah, really, really cool stuff. Yeah, it's a great collection. The X-Men, Marvel Masterworks Volume 2 and 3. I read the first 66 issues of X-Men, the original run. 67 through 93, I believe, were all reprints. They weren't original stories, but the X-Men did appear in other stories, which I'll get to in a minute. But yeah, Volume 2 collects issues 11 through 21. Volume 3 is 22 through 31. Yeah, for more info, if you want to see the issues, just go ahead and pause the video right here. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Yeah, really awesome. Love the X-Men, and that's the first time I read through all the issues. I'm planning on continuing to read like all through. Once I get to like Volume 2 in the early 90s and beyond, I'm going to go as far as I possibly can. I'm going to rewatch the animated series from the 90s too, probably. Yeah, love me some X-Men. You know, of course, this is the original lineup before they had Wolverine and Storm and Nightcrawler and Colossus, all that. The original with Cyclops, Angel, Iceman, Beast, and Jean Grey, aka Marvel Girl, as she was known back then. Yeah, here's the Uncanny X-Men, Marvel Masterworks Volume 2. I already have Volume 1. Yeah, this is the new team I already talked about. Yeah, Wolverine and Storm and Colossus, Nightcrawler and all them. Yeah, really cool. Yeah, the Phoenix and all that. Yeah, Uncanny X-Men. Yeah, it collects X-Men 101 through 110. You have the new team. Then they got really popular. Yeah, here's X-Men Epic Collection Volume 4. I already have Volumes 2 and 3, which I already read. I'm currently reading this now. Yeah, it contains, like I said, when they started reprinting the X-Men stories, because they weren't very popular back then. Yeah, I love the Roy Thomas, Neil Adams run. But like when they were reprinting the stories, they appeared in other volumes, like The Amazing Adventures 11 through 17. That's where Hank McCoy, the Beast, who is basically just a mutant with huge hands, huge feet, and super strength and agility. Then he becomes, well, an actual beast with the blue fur, and eventually fangs and claws. So it becomes like an actual beast, even though he's already called Beast. Yeah, Hank McCoy mutates even further. Yeah, it has all those. It has Iceman's appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 92. Incredible Hulk 150, 161, 172. Yeah, some Havoc and Polaris appearances. The first appearance of Wolverine. Marvel Team Up 4 and 23. Yeah, Spider-Man and the X-Men and Iceman and Human Torch team up for the second time, just like they did in Strange Tales issue 120, which is pretty cool. But they did meet a few times in X-Men and Fantastic Four issues. Avengers 110 through 111. Captain America 172 through 175, Defenders 15 through 16, Giant Size Fantastic Four. It has all the covers of X-Men 67 through 93 and Annual 1 and 2. Like I already said, were reprints of previous stories that I already read. Yeah, pretty cool. Great collection to have. To see what the X-Men were up to in between, when their title basically got canceled and then just did reprints, and then when they came back with the new team. Now here's Marvel Masterworks, Silver Surfer Volume 1 and 2. This video is almost at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to go and wrap it up and just say, yeah, this collects the first 18 issues like I already talked about, Volume 1. Yeah, Silver Surfer Volume 1. This is all of them. This is all of it. This is all Volume 1. Yeah, all Silver Surfer. It doesn't contain his early appearances in Fantastic Four comics, but yeah, it's still pretty cool to have. See his early adventures when Galactus banished him to the Earth realm and stuff. And finally, I just got a Green Lantern Funko Pop. Yeah, it's Hal Jordan, the original Green Lantern. It glows in the dark. I'm not going to collect Funko Pops. I only got this because I already had 9, most of which were gifts or raffle prizes, and I had 9. I want it to be an even number because they're stacked on top of each other. It looked uneven, so I got this one. I'm not gonna get any more. I'm done with Funko Pops. Yeah, I just like collecting action figures of the characters that they actually look like, more accurate looking. But yeah, pretty cool to have Green Lantern. It grows in the dark. Yeah, Hal Jordan. Green Lantern's light. Hell yeah. So yeah, just to make it even, I got this Funko Pop. All right, guys. Well, that's it. Yeah, this video is already way too long. I didn't mean for it to be this long. Thank you for watching Loathsome Lore 52. As always, I'm Lord Hellhound here in the Horror and Metal and sometimes Comics channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time, later.